My question is, I understood that a Nabi-ul-Allah could be also Rasoul-ul-Allah as well. Is this also the same sunat of God in the case of Hadhrat Imam Madhi alayhi salam, that God did give him, Hadhrat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, through God's revelation, give him these two titles?
You see, the first issue of his status is the all-important issue. It should be decided. Once the status is decided, then he cannot be a different type of Nabi from all the rest, where he is only Nabi and not Rasool, or only Rasool and not Nabi, because the Holy Quran is very clear on this. It's impossible to conceive any Nabi who is not Rasool, or any Rasool who is not Nabi. So, having said that, I tell you that the issue of Khatamiyat is not involved in this. This is absolutely wrong. People allege falsely that we have concocted a new concept of Khatamiyat. This is not so. Because the issue is whether, the only issue is whether the old Messiah, whom we prove from the Holy Quran to be dead, is referred to by the Holy Prophet to come again, or is he referred only metaphorically, and it is his title which is kept in view. Now the issue can be easily resolved. As far as the future Messiah is concerned, all Muslims, without a shadow of doubt, agree that he would be a prophet of God. They cannot have any other view on this, because Hadith al-Muslim refers to the same prophet, Nabi-ul-Allah, 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 Nabi-ul-Allah 4 times. But even otherwise, because they believe he is the old one, and they know the prophet once made cannot be dispossessed of his title. Is permanently the prophet and Rasul. So they have to agree and believe it. This is exactly what their belief is. So the issue is not of a prophet coming after Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That issue is resolved. They also believe that a prophet would come. Now, when you ask them, how can an old prophet come? Through the seal of the Prophet of Allah, breaking that seal? Or by which way will he appear in the future? They say, no, you don't understand the meaning of the seal. It will be, the seal will remain unbroken, because when he comes, he will become a Muslim. And he will become a perfect obedient servant of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As such, his being a prophet has no contradiction to the concept of Khatamiyat. This is exactly our view. The issue of old and new is irrelevant. The central point to the issue is whether a prophet would come who would hold his prophethood separate and distinct from the ummah of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will remain an independent prophet as he was once an independent prophet. If he were to claim to be an independent prophet, then he would certainly be a liar. This is the issue, and this is exactly our view. The only question is whether the old person would come and become a member of the ummah, or a member of the ummah would be raised to a subordinate prophet. That's all the difference there is about it. Now, if we prove, as we do, from the Holy Quran, that the old prophet Jesus is dead by the absolute final declaration of the Quran, Mal Masih ibn Maryam illa Rasool, qad khalat min qabli Rasul, wa ummuhu siddiqah, kana yakulani ta'am. And then Ma Muhammadun illa Rasool, qad khalat min qabli Rasul, afa in mata aw qutilan qalabtum ala aqabikum. These are two stalwarts which will never permit anybody to claim that Jesus Christ is still alive somewhere in heaven with his bodily life. So this issue is resolved once and forever. So then why Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam continues to refer to him as Masih al-Isa, Masih ibn Maryam? It is because this is exactly the style in every language. where an old hero is mentioned, he is mentioned with all his titles and with clear significance, so that his metaphorical appearance is not misunderstood. When you say somebody is Hatam Tai, why do you say Hatam Tai and also mention the Kabila Tai? While he may belong to, he may be a Kazakh or somebody else, or Ole, like you are. Why should anybody say Al-Hatam Tai? Because it is the perfect complement to such a person, and similarity becomes almost complete. You don't say like Hatam Tai. Somebody is called Rustam. Well, Rustam is the personal name of a great warrior at the time of the battles with Islam during the period of Hazrat Umar. So this is a metaphorical issue. Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa ﷺ pointed out that a prophet would be born from among the Ummah who will hold the title of Masih ibn Maryam like Isa ibn Maryam before, but his similarity would be so close to him that as if his name can be given to him as a title. This is the message. And this is further proved by the fact that there is another hadith which people generally do not relate to this issue, but it is very relevant. Hadhrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam also prophesied that an unfortunate time would come in the Ummah when this Ummah, so-called my Ummah, would be so similar to the Jews as if one shoe of the pair is similar to the other of the same pair. Yes, unbelievable. Now, which Jews? Not of the time of Moses, who believed in him, but the Jews of the time of Jesus Christ. So if this is the name of the disease, then the recipe for cure should be exactly the same. And that is the meaning of Masih ibn Maryam, or Isa Masih ibn Maryam. As far as Al-Imam al-Mahdi is concerned, that title is also very clear. Al-Imam indicates that whoever he is, he will be appointed by God and not elected by the people of the time. And once a person is appointed by God as Imam, no one has the right to reject him. On this, all Muslims are agreed. How else can you define prophethood? Prophets possess these two prerequisites of prophethood. A prophet has to be appointed by God, and once he is appointed, nobody can reject him. So that is why it's an article of our faith, you cannot reject any prophet. So Imam Mahdi, will he be rejected? Will he be permitted to be rejected? And will he not be appointed by God? So whether you call him as Ummati Nabi in the Ummah Muhammad or do not, you believe exactly in the same thing as we do. There is no difference. Understand?
I know
only this
things,
much,
just
that Messiah is the title which indicates that somebody like him would appear. And when the word Jesus is used, it is used like in the style of every language. An old hero is the name of an old hero is applied to somebody who is similar to him, and there is nothing against common sense or common use.